All right, so this is the inaugural What Television Variety Radio Show. I'm your host, Ken Keene. We also have Greg Smith running things. He's the auteur and founding father of the studio. Does a variety of tasks, multitasker. And so, first of all, we have, so we'll a variety show meeting. I'll have a different guest each week. We'll run maybe 5 to 10 minutes of my sports analysis for the week, as well as a short segment on news from the front, meaning local good or bad news. It could be a new restaurant opening up or closing, or something else that we'll be doing. So for my first guest is Bill Berg. Bill is a well, I'll let him describe who the hell he is. Bill.
Yes, a lot of people have trouble with that.
Yeah, well, I don't have a problem with it. I'd just rather have you describe yourself.
A lot of people have trouble describing. Okay, I am MPD District 5, all 3 shifts, 20 years. And I live in the neighborhood, and I really like the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. I'm part of the community.
Have you, so you also work 1st District as well, correct?
Yeah, but do you understand, 1st District got taken away for administrative savings, and they made part of District 5.
Yeah, so they stuck you into the dungeon, so to speak.
No, it's great.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Excellent. So how long were you on the police department? Like from what year to what year?
Yeah, 20 years. Okay. 85 to 2005.
Okay, excellent. So for those that don't know, I know Bill kind of from drinking at the Uptowner, to be truthful. That's just, and I'm not the only one that does stuff like this.
Everybody used to drink at the Uptowner.
Yeah, and loud still do, So, yeah, blast from the past. So, so when I approached Bill about this, I said, Bill, you're going to be my first guest. And I said, what topic of discussion do you mainly want to cover? And right away, he was somewhat drunk out of his mind and just took 2 hits of pot. And Bill said,
bicycles?
Nope.
What is it? Parking tickets?
Nope.
Traffic accidents?
No, this is so that's segments of it. But what came exactly out of your mouth is River West law enforcement.
Right. Okay. That's all district. That's all.
Yes.
All River West.
But it would. River West law enforcement is verbatim what came out of your mouth several times during the evening.
Okay.
Yeah. So I asked you to write a few handful of topics down, that you want to talk about. So without further ado, Bill, take control. What's your first subject matter?
Okay, bicycle theft.
All right. So yeah, there's been a lot of that. Talked to Greg Smith and a lot of other people that have bicycles. And there's been a lot of theft, especially of late, not just vehicles, but bicycles. Yeah. But much more so of late, the last handful of years.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that specifically, Bill?
Okay, my background is I'm an avid bicyclist, and for a number of years, I ride my bicycle 1,500 miles a week, and I used to ride my bicycle from the east side to District 5 for years on a second shift. And as far as bicycle theft goes, I always bought good bicycles, and I've had 4 of them stolen from me.
Over the course of your time living here?
Well, yeah.
Which has been how long? 30?
Well, I've either been east side downtown or River West for the last 40 years.
Okay, so basically east side, whether, like you said, River West or your UWM or downtown.
Yeah, UWM.
Great. Interesting. So you all obviously know a lot of other people that have bicycles of all ages.
Oh yeah, especially you get closer to Locust Street. The neighborhood I'm staying right now is but we get south Locust Street. There are a lot of people that are dependent on transportation with their bicycles.
We're actually we're at the Nut Factory right now next to Amorphic Breweries where Greg Smith's studio is, and at this particular time, Bill Berg lives about 5 blocks south of here on Townsend. Yes,
currently for the time being.
For the time being, Bill's a mover and shaker. Okay, question. So now everyone knows bikes are being stolen. A lot of people are pissed off. It's their, there's quite a few people, especially in this neighborhood, that don't have like a car. So a bicycle is their main form of transportation.
Yes.
Go to the grocery store, go to work, this and that. You can put your bicycle on the front of a bus to take you wherever.
Absolutely.
And that kind of thing. So
I think that's really cool, instantly.
Yeah. So, and I've done it a handful of times. So what's your deterrent? What's your way out of this madness of this bicycle theft? I mean, what are your thoughts on how to stop or resolve the theft?
Well, you're not going to stop it, but you can reduce your risk to it. And first of all, when you never leave a bicycle on the porch, you take it inside.
Sure.
Even at taverns let you do it on there.
Yes.
And at restaurants. And you need a lock.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need a kryptonite lock, but you need a basically cable lock that's pretty good.
I somewhat disagree. I would like the ones that, because I have 2 bolt cutters. I can go right in the broad light of day and just go snap. You're inside for 30 seconds and your bike's gone. It's happened to me in Shorewood, actually, maybe 8 years ago. I went into the right before it closed down, the last Blockbuster of the city, and I had something reserved. I was literally in there like 90 seconds, and I see kids booking down, this 2 blocks away from the street from me.
Oh yeah, bolt cutters.
And I had it locked. I did lock it with just an easy bake chain. They snap and split.
Okay, I arrested some kids with a bolt cutter crossing the river, and there were like 5 of them, and one was a banana seat. I looked under the banana seat and just found a bolt cutter.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So I arrested them.
I'm not shocked, as you should.
Comment from the peanut gallery. Currently, cordless grinders go through anything.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Greg Smith made the valid point of, there's cordless now, which is obviously the battery technology has gotten substantially better in the last, 20 years or so, where you can have a cordless anything that works. I have a Milwaukee drill thing, and the batteries last for months. So Bill's statement is that the new grinder stuff can pretty much cut through anything in 30 seconds or whatever.
Okay,
a minute.
I've tried the kryptonite stuff, and one of the big problems with kryptonite is if you want to lock up your bicycle properly, you got to go through both wheels.
Sure.
And the kryptonite thing isn't big enough.
Yep. No, I agree with that. So I guess actually it should be inside. Outside's more if you're going shopping, you're going to a local establishment for dinner or beer or whatever, that makes sense to weave it through both, tires, and actually having perhaps 2 would be better, in a sense.
Well, those things are heavy.
Yeah, but I mean, do you want your bike stolen or not? Because like you said, there's the deterrent, because you're not going to stop it. Although I have ideas on deterring theft.
Well, yeah, I know what your ideas of deterring theft are.
Yes. So I'll
Beat them up.
Well, there's one, but I'll reiterate those, because I'm not really into violence, but I am into torture. So back in the day,
I'm into violence. That was my business.
when you steal someone's horse or form of transportation, you're hung from the nearest tree. In Asia, when you're a thief, you steal something. They start off with 1 finger, 2 finger, then it's a wrist. So if you torture somebody, if you start cutting limbs off, I would say, the level of theft would go almost pretty much to 0. If that were done, it's not going to happen unless you self-policed. Greg even brought up, the fact that there's a lot of thefts, and the police in particular know a couple individuals. Everyone knows that they're the thieves. They all know where they live. Police officers don't do anything about it. So I think it's time for the general public to, put matters into their own hands, so to speak.
When I was on a job, I knew everything in the neighborhood, and sometimes I knew exactly where the stuff being taken, like second and right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes I go over there and find it. This guy's backyard is a junk collector.
Hey, Greg, did we get an initial timestamp on when we started? 'Cause I'm trying to keep this to an even hour, so we're like,
Pay a lot of attention.
okay, so we're all not paying attention today.
Probably 15 minutes.
It's so let's go. We started at 147 because 47 is the psycho stabbing number, and that kind of makes sense. So 147. Okay, cool. All right. Well, anything in closing about the whole bike theft disarray matter?
Okay, you know what all bicycles taken? UWM.
Yes.
Yeah. UWM.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty much like the closest campus around here.
Well, a lot of people get the bike things off the student union in the square, and those whoever does it, they go there and steal them.
I think this is a subject that will be brought up in another episode of the show. We can bring other people that are bikers and has their bicycles stolen and or interject, because we could talk about this subject for quite more amount of time, especially with other guests, that are aware of these activities because they're involved in them. So on a lighter note, before we get to the next subject on River West law enforcement, I'm going to also do a segment each week on what beer of the week. So what beer are we having this week? We are going to have a fine, because we're on the cusp of October, a fine Spaten Oktoberfest. Now, Germans do a handful of things well. One thing they do very well, as Bill knows, because Bill likes beer, is... Bill?
Okay.
Yes. All right. And
Can I tell you what my favorite beer is?
okay.
Guinness Stout.
Oh, we're not having Guinness Stout today. That's a different subject.
I actually been to Guinness Brewery in Ireland. That's
Okay.
a really good tour.
But see, the Guinness Stout there is much different than here. Cheers, Bill. Here's to, my first one of the day anyway.
Yeah, I'll tell you about Guinness Stout. It's made to be on tap, not in cans and bottles.
No, and even there, it pretty much comes out like almost like molasses, right? Real slow.
Oh, yeah. What they do in Ireland is, I've been over there twice, is they pour these things in advance, like 6 of them. And they wait for workers to come in. They pour them, let things settle down for about 20 minutes, 50 minutes.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I haven't been there. My father was there a handful of years ago. He did a 3-week tour, flew into Dublin, and then just went to smaller cities and just, like on a bus. He's in his 70s.
Okay, you know how I got the Ireland? I fly to London, and if you know what you're doing, you at Paddington, you can catch a train to the coast, Holyhead, and take the ferry across to Dublin.
Good idea.
I've done that twice.
Trains are good.
Yeah.
So, first of all, what do you think the beer that's at room temperature, because they didn't have it cold at the Metro Market?
Actually, the way your Britons drink it, it's supposed to be warm.
Or room temperature, not in the sun, like cellar temperature, so to speak.
Well, yeah.
In the 50s.
According to Bar Rescue, that guy in Bar Rescue, tap beer, to be optimized, should be served at 39 degrees Fahrenheit to be chilled on it.
I disagree.
Well, that's what the guy in Bar Rescue said.
Well, I mean, I think if it's hot out and you're drinking like a Miller Lite or
What's this bar stuff, restaurant stuff?
yeah, but then there's reality.
Well, you got the cooler in the basement, and
Yeah,
they have some control over it.
sure. So, Bill, what is your next topic of discussion for River West law enforcement?
I'm thinking here, street safety after dark.
And specifically, personally, Bill, why are you bringing this subject up?
Guess.
And you can also speak into that camera if you want as well. Do you want to? Should I tell the story, or at least lead into it, or do you want to do it?
Well, I was crossing the street, and I get hit
Where were you at specifically?
center and wheel.
Okay.
I was going home with this Illinois.
So you weren't crossing Center, you were crossing Wheel.
I was crossing Center Street.
Oh, you were crossing Center Street.
Yeah.
Okay. And, all right, so to your recollection, I know the story already. You just woke up in the hospital and don't remember anything.
Yeah.
But you
The
know,
trauma ward at Freighter.
yeah. So, but what occurred? You just got ran over by a reindeer, and they just kept going, correct?
I don't have a clue. The last thing I remember, as I was approaching Center Street, about half block away, I see it in the end windows, and next thing you know, I'm at Freighter.
How long were you in Freighter, and what are your extensions of your injuries?
27 days.
That's
Then I was spending an additional 2 months in a wheelchair. I'm still recovering from that.
yeah. You're currently using a walker.
Yeah,
Things
just
are
for the
getting
time being.
things are getting better, and you're lucky to be alive.
Yeah,
But your extent of your injuries were.
a severely broken neck in 2 places, and a severely broken leg that required a 4-hour surgery and put a plate in it. Then I'd go back for numerous X-rays before they give me a clear to start putting weight on it.
And you told me before, I think, didn't you develop some type of infection you had to go back in for because of your leg or something?
Well, actually, unrelated, but yeah,
Okay.
I spent about 8 days in St. Mary's for that.
The dreaded St. Mary's. Ouch. So now, just like the bike thievery, most likely, I'm just gonna guess that either probably an adult was drunk and ran you over, or it was a 14-year-old in a stolen car with no plates.
Most likely.
Most likely the latter. Most likely. So, like the bicycle situation, what are your thoughts on deterring vehicle theft?
Okay. Leave your doors unlocked
Good idea.
and nothing in it, even clothing. They take clothing. You know what?
Oh, yeah.
Leave your doors unlocked. And if you got an alarm system, use it.
Yep.
I guess it's all automatic. The club,
Is a deterrent.
yeah.
Yeah, I like the club idea. Leaving the doors open is also a good idea. For years, I had a F-150, and there was like a 1.5 year period before I sold it. It started rusting. It was, it's time to get rid of it, I guess. But people were breaking my window for change. And you could look in it, and it's like you don't see any tools or maybe one bucket that you can sell for, 8 hits of crack or whatever. And but they would, break in just to basically go on my console and for $5 worth of change, or maybe there's a backup 20 in there.
Yeah. Okay. Auto theft. Let me think here. If you do still have stick shifts, they used to. The people that steal these things don't know how to work a stick shift.
That's actually a good idea, especially like the 14-year-olds and stuff a lot of them that are stealing these cars.
Okay, not all models get stolen. Like
No.
right now, the big one's a Kia. And you know why? Because what they do is
Catalytic converter.
they come with a screwdriver
And it's easy to steal.
they chip away part of the steering column to expose the linkage that connects the key thing, and they break those things. But the other cars, they don't know how to do it.
Well, I personally have a 2003 Hyundai XG350 sedan, and when I purchased it 8 years ago, the whole time I've owned it, it's never been screwed. It looks like it's a mom and pop car kind of thing, but the second day I owned it, I was in Shorewood. It was on a Tuesday, nice sunny afternoon, 74 degrees. 11:37 a.m. and a good friend of mine's new neighbor, it's a Russian couple, like in their 30s. They wanted some work done from a friend of mine. I don't do tile work, so I introduced them to, and we're kind of in the back of the house inside towards the kitchen, and all of a sudden I hear the client's wife say, "Ken, there's a large black man in your car." So I immediately go towards the front door, and there was my friend's large framing hammer that I grabbed. So I'm exiting. The door was already open except for the screen door. So as I'm exiting, very focused and sober, going towards the car just with the hammer, my friend said, "Don't do it." But little did I know he wasn't talking to me. The owner was right behind me with a 9mm and knew how to use it.
Oh, God.
So he was.
I got a story about that stuff.
So anyway, if I would have knew he was behind me, because I get irritated and I'm, a little brash and cocky, I would have made that van stop with my hammer.
Yeah.
And if one of the 14-year-olds would have had a gun, he probably would have shot at me and missed. But the only split-second decisions why I didn't do it is because there's other people behind me that I don't have the right to get them killed. So I didn't. So I stopped. I was going to do it. Not even having him behind me with the gun, not knowing it. Right. But I'm like, if they do pull a gun, they'll probably miss. Even if they hit me, it might go through me and kill some kid that's a half a block away.
Well, look at Trump 2 months ago.
Yes.
That kid shot 2 people in critical condition.
Yeah.
Killed one of them.
Yeah. So why don't you do the job right? If you're trying to assassinate someone. Either blow everybody up with a bomb, or if you're going to use a gun, why don't? And if this is like a death sentence. If you're going to do that, you might as well get up close to them and make sure you do the job right.
I got some experience. We had a presidential visit downtown, and I was there at the time as a patrolman. And what the problem with Trump is with assassinations, he doesn't listen to anybody. It makes it too hard for the Secret Service to defend.
Yeah, but this when he was in Milwaukee. This is like right after the other, attempt. I mean, directly after. So now you have like 5 times the security in Milwaukee that was there when there was the first assassination attempt.
Okay, take restaurants. When our president visited Milwaukee, what restaurants did he They pick Miss Katie's Diner.
Of course they do.
You know why? Well,
location.
It's a good product, but it's
location.
Location is easy to defend.
Yeah, easy to defend, easy exit strategies. The highway's right there. There's the.
You know how I know that? The Secret Service told me.
Well, why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
You're Bill.
I'm basically one of those guys.
Yeah. What?
I was.
Sippy cup. Yeah, I was also told that a lot of because of the assassination attempt, that a lot of people that were expected to make a lot of money downtown didn't.
Yeah.
Because either people didn't want to deal with the politics, or they were just in fear and they stayed away. That type of thing. Or also, conversely, that the ones that did like inside the main perimeter, I was told by people that were inside that perimeter that actually did make money, like 85% of the money they did make was from Secret Service agents eating and drinking.
Well, there's a ton of them. I guess.
Yeah.
I was looking up at the
thousands.
Internet. I guess I was looking at it. They got like 30 Secret Service people living in the White House. Mm-hmm. 30. I tried that like a month ago. And further, we'll get this Kamala Harris, Mrs. President, I hope, and Trump. I got some really sound advice for both of them from experience. If I was Kamala, I wouldn't stand too close to him in public. Look what happened. And I've seen this on a job. If I were Trump, I'd start wearing a bulletproof vest.
That makes sense. What do bulletproof vests go for these days, Bill?
Well, it depends on the grade. When I was on a job, we had 3 different grades.
Medium grade.
Well, what they say is you're supposed to pick the grade that can stop the bullet in your gun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a general, like a handgun.
Well, I had a 40 caliber and then a 357.
Well, so
you get them with side panels, metal inserts.
Sure. But I mean, just like say at 30 meters and 9 millimeter. Is that the medium grade one?
Maybe not quite.
Okay.
Yeah, but I know a lot about bulletproof vests. I've had a bunch of them.
All right.
I'll tell you something about bulletproof vests. You think they're cool? If you got the side panels and the maximum grade, they are hotter than hell. After about 2 hours, you got to take it off.
Well, yeah, and even though they
don't breathe.
They don't breathe, and they're probably pretty heavy, even though they're.
Oh yeah, the maximum grade with the side panels is really heavy.
Yeah, like 50, 60 pounds or something.
No, well,
40?
I'll give you an example. I used to be in a hospital emergency rooms with a job, and we had leather jackets, and with that bulletproof vest and my leather jacket, I stepped on a scale, and I was 30 pounds overweight.
So 30. Okay, that makes sense. But still, if you're carrying that around and it's hot out and you're wearing it for a full shift or something like that, that can be, well, keep you in shape.
Well, actually, there's a certain exercise value. What I used to do, the only time I wore a bulletproof vest, I used to sit on my squad car. It was when I had to go to a scene with a particular officer that I thought was going to kill me.
Yeah,
Then I put it on.
there's that type of politics as well, Bill, that I'm sure you've ran into. But
Well,
that's
we don't
somewhat for...
the department had no psychological testing.
Right.
And,
Well, they do to get in, but not during.
well, I got an opinion about that. What the MPD should do is save city a whole lot of money. Is a psychology test. And they get a roaming psychologist, just wanders through the district. And these people can spot stress.
Sure. They should. That's what they're paid to do. That's their job. They should be professionals about what they do.
In the long run, it'll save the city a lot of money in lawsuits, disability pensions, marriage and divorce.
All right, Bill. So I'm putting these glasses on. We're going to momentarily switch gears. And what we're going to do now is a changeover. So, Bill, you watch sports. You like football and stuff like that.
I love it.
Yeah, Packer fan, stuff like that. So you can interject as well, at any time. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to move on over. I have my notes here, which I did last night and today. Of course, it's 11th hour stuff. But so, what sports? This is going to be a segment. I'm going to do at least initially just a shorter segment instead of doing something an hour to 4 hours long just on sports. So it's what sports, like what beer, like what show, like all this other what stuff. So let's see. So what I'm going to do is pick. What a lot of people do is they pick 5 games against the spread a week. So that's what I'm going to do. Sometimes, if I'm a sports gambler, I'll bet on more, or sometimes I'll bet on less. But I'm just going to do the 5 in no particular order. So here is Ken Keene in my my alias, so to speak, for sports betting and gambling, and the show is Colonel Nuts, N-U-T-Z. So, all right, first pick of the week is the Cincinnati Bengals. They're 4.5-point favorite at the Carolina Panthers. The reason I'm taking Cincy, and there's quite a few people that took them in the start of the year as a Super Bowl candidate or favorite. I was not one of them. There are too many people that are holding out or want contract negotiations. Their quarterback, when healthy, is top 3 in football, but he's dealing with a wrist injury, and I heard that it's not really quite healed. And there's too much chaos. When there's chaos with a team, too much barking, talking, bad things, happen 90% of the time. But conversely, they're playing a bad team in the Carolina Panthers. And last week, they put the backup quarterback in, the veteran Andy Dalton, a.k.a. Big Red, because he's got red hair. Veteran, I like him, but he had the best quarterback. He was the best quarterback statistically in the week last week. Is that going to happen again? Cincinnati is 0 wins and 3 losses. If they lose this game, the season officially ends. No 0-4 team has ever made the playoffs, ever. It's only 4.5 points. It is at Carolina. And for those reasons, that's my number 1 pick. Number 2, what are your thoughts on that? Do you know anything about Cincinnati and Carolina?
I've seen enough of you, Ken, that you know exactly what you're doing.
Okay, good. So,
but you don't bet large amounts of money, like $1,000.
Well, generally not. Usually my highest wagers are generally, I've bet $2,000 bets 3 times in my life, hit all 3. I do occasional $500 plays, but it's usually like, $50, $100 plays type of thing.
Okay.
So, anywho, I don't bet with out of my means.
Okay.
So hold on. Let me. Okay, go ahead. Interject.
I've been in the stock market, options and stuff, and where I'm going is, what you do is you get like a 60% chance of winning. You got a 40% chance of winning, but what you do is make 3 small bets on different stuff, and set 1 big bet on everything.
That's kind of my fault. Well, It depends because it changes week to week, Bill. Some weeks I really don't really like anything. In some weeks I think there's 4 plays that I want to put $100-$500 a piece on them, and then put them together in a parlay, which I don't generally do because generally parlays are for losers. So, with that, we're going to go into my second bet of the week. I thought about taking, there's an over and under number, under 40.5 points with the New York Jets playing the Denver Broncos. And I still probably going to wager something on it. But after hearing this morning that their best linebacker the last 2 years that led them in tackles is gone for the year. So the Jets are favored by 7.5 points, kind of a bigger line. I kind of like Denver. I think they're going to move the football a little bit, just enough so they don't get completely whooped. But I can see easily that the Jets is going to win by 10 points. So I'm going with that. So that's my second play on the board is New York Jets minus 7.5 points at home against the Denver Broncos. Number 3 is the Arizona Cardinals at home, favored by 3.5 points against the Washington Commanders. Washington Commanders have a very good rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels. I watched him play in college, LSU. Conversely, same school that Joe Burrow from Cincy went to. He had statistically the best rookie game ever last week. Ever. Anyone, anytime does ever. The next week, I'm going against it. In principle, don't care who they're playing, what the spread is. Arizona's been playing very well. Even in losses, they lost to Detroit by 7. They were in position to actually win that game. Detroit's a good team, as we all know. So the combination of best rookie game ever and on the road, a well-playing Arizona Cardinals, that's enough for me. Number 4, Philadelphia Eagles. Their offense has been not stellar. Their quarterback play, Jalen Hurts, has been less than stellar. But there's a 70% chance of rain, which favors a more running team and a team with the better offensive line. They're in Tampa. Okay. Tampa Bay has not played well offensively the last 2 weeks. They have 8 injuries, 8 starters out, offense and defense. And with that, that's it. It's just their offensive line, I think, is going to manhandle the defensive line of Tampa Bay. And if it's pouring rain out, that always favors the better offensive line and running team. So with that, I'm going to take Philadelphia minus 1.5 at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What are your thoughts on that, Bill, as I take a drink of beer?
With artificial turf, maybe things have changed. In the old days, when I was growing up in the 60s, and the thing was all natural turf, well, every team had a mudder.
Yes.
You know what a mudder is?
You tell us, Bill.
Okay, it's a guy who has the ability to run through a slippery field of mud.
Yes.
That's a mudder. Every team, Green Bay had it.
So their thighs are this big,
I don't know.
Yeah. Usually it's the dude with the biggest legs and strongest lower body.
Yeah, Lombardi did it.
Yeah, of course he did. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah. Let's talk to Lombardi Packers. You know what the best running back in Green Bay history is?
You tell me, Bill.
Jimmy Taylor.
Yep.
No doubt about it. This guy was, you know what he did once? Someone cheap shot our star quarterback, and about 3 plays later, what they did is they ran him right at this guy did, and he broke his arm.
Yeah, that
I don't know because I saw it on TV.
But see, that happened more so back in the day when they were playing with leather helmets and there wasn't these ticky-tack.
No, they still have metal
balls.
helmets.
They did?
They only had one bar. But
Yeah. Well, wasn't that kind of on the edge of the, on the edge of the leather helmets, or no?
Well, okay, I had a leather helmet story. Gerald Ford played football and ran against Ronald Reagan. And you know what Reagan says? When I played football, I wore a helmet.
Why wouldn't he? All right, getting to the 5th pick of my 5 picks. Okay, hate hate is a strong word. There's two teams, if I hate. One is the Dallas Cowboys, and the other is the Cleveland Browns. Reason being is because not that there's no players on either team that I haven't liked over the years, and my favorite player almost of all time, and my favorite player when I was growing up, my number one guy was Roger Staubach, 1977. And you know of him, and his stats would have been a lot better. But he was in the Navy for 4 years.
My favorite is Bobby Lane.
Okay,
So my character. Okay, Bobby Lane.
So hate's a strong word, but anywho, so Cleveland's one of them, but they're at the Las Vegas Raiders, only favored by 2.5 points, and that's what is that saying about Cleveland? They paid this guy Watson $250 million, maybe the worst trade in NFL history with the Herschel Walker trade, of.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah, so you give half a team for one player. And then, so with that, the Raiders already suck. Yeah. Their two best players.
They always will, unless the ownership changes.
Thank you. That's what I said. The reason I don't like the Dallas Cowboys and Cleveland is because some of the players and because the owners are, not good.
Well, that's the problem with the Bears, the Halls family.
Yes. That's why they Bears still suck.
Yeah.
It's because of the ownership.
Well, they developed the culture. What culture
See,
means?
I don't hate the Bears because they suck, and I don't
like
mind them. I don't mind the Bears sucking in my division.
I like the Bears. When they're not playing Green Bay, I'm rooting for them.
That's fine. But you're rooting for a losing team, of course.
Well, okay.
Okay. So, pick number 5, Cleveland. Again, their two best players, one on offense, one on defense. Their best offensive player, which is Devontae Adams, that was on the Green Bay Packers, wide receiver.
Yeah.
He's not playing this week.
Isn't?
Max Crosby, top 3 pass rusher in football, their best defensive player, is not playing this week. They're already a bad football team, and when their two best players are out, as much as I hate Cleveland, it's only 2.5 points.
Why do you hate Cleveland?
Well, just because we were just talking about ownership.
Yeah. The Browns?
Okay, the Pound, they left, right? They keep moving. They're just a bad ownership team.
Yeah, you know where the Browns come from? Name? Paul Brown.
Yeah. But they're a bad ownership team. They've been hopping around. Where did they play before Cleveland, Bill?
I don't know.
Baltimore.
Well, they were in Baltimore for a while. What they did with Baltimore was 1985, right? They were in Cleveland, and something screwed up, and they moved to Baltimore for season 2, then back to Cleveland. It's
a dysfunctional ownership group, and there's a handful of teams, since I've been born, they're just bad. They can't get anything right. At least the Bears won a Super Bowl in '85 and did the shuffle, but like Cleveland and like New Orleans over the years, I mean, they got Drew Brees and won a championship, but the Chargers have been horrible, most of the time horrible. I mean, they've had Dan Fouts and Junior Seau, but overall they've just been. A lot of these teams have been bad franchises. Now,
yes,
I'm giving my extra credit. Dog of the week pick, and that would be the Minnesota Vikings. Now,
yes, Packers play, right?
Yes. So now I think Jordan Love's going to play.
This Jordan Jones thing's going to come to play.
Jones knows our team very well. Jordan Love, is a good quarterback. He hasn't played, and he only played one game. So I think there's going to be some rust. 2, it's a divisional rival. And 3, the Packers are favored, and I think that Minnesota's right now a better team. They've been waxing good teams. Aaron Jones knows our team, so from a strategy standpoint,
he knows the guys on the team too as well.
And also, this is by far the best offense and defense the Packers have played this year.
Well, their defense is terrific. 8 sacks last week, which is almost unheard of.
No. I'm talking about Minnesota, dude. No, I'm betting against the Packers, dude. At least $100.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Easy money. Yes. Oh, and by the way, so, pardon me. So, the reason staying, the Aaron Jones factor, he knows the team. Jordan Love's going to play.
And they also got a couple of Vikings ex-Packers on the team that know it too.
Yes. So for those reasons, and they're the best offense and defense the Packers played this year. Jordan Love, rusty, divisional rival, blah, 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 blah. I am taking the Minnesota Vikings. And, any interjection on that, Bill? So you don't seem to like that play, Bill, do you?
Okay, I'm telling you about Love not coming back. This Malcolm Willis is not that bad.
Yeah, but see, if Willis plays, Minnesota's going to win by 25 to 30 points. If Jordan Love plays and plays well, then it's a game they can win, and I think he's going to play. If Malik Willis plays, the Packers are going to get destroyed.
I wouldn't count on that.
Well,
he's looking pretty good to me.
Well, okay, but that's against shitty teams, dude. You know who he beat, right?
Who?
2 teams that hasn't won a game yet.
Okay.
Okay, Minnesota's here, and we played this.
Well, let me tell you this. Last year with the Packers, how many games did they win the first 8 games?
Not much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're a good team.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say the Packers weren't a good team. I'm just talking about...
I'm talking about the teams these guys are playing.
Okay. So this is about week to week. It's a week-to-week league. And things change really quick. There's injuries. There's divisional rival stuff. So I could, bet against the Packers this week and next week bet on them. This is sports gambling. There's no heart involved. It's all numbers and what I think. Not, this is about, making cash.
Okay.
So, all right. So, and with that, actually, we're gonna go to news from the front, Bill.
News from the front.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Because a good friend of mine, Kelly Kearns, that I've known since 2003. She lives in Irvine, California. Her brother, Carrie Kearns, that lives 25 minutes from the Strip, one of my best friends, as well as Kelly's sister, Colleen, that lives in South Carolina, air traffic controller chick. And anyway,
I took the air traffic control exam.
Okay, so Bill, so this is the news from the front thing. So happy or sad? This is a sad front. So a woman I dated for 6 years, was diagnosed with breast cancer. It's brutal. She can handle more pain and works harder than anyone I've met in my life. So I'm about to set up. She's got a GoFundMe thing, which everyone's going to know about in the next couple days. And with the sports thing, God willing, any money I make this year from my sports gambling is going to go right to the site. For people that know me, I don't ask people for pretty much anything unless I'm drinking and need a smoke, right, Bill? And then
Need a smoke.
Yep, and that's going to occur at some point today. So, anywho, so there's a GoFundMe thing set up. This is all going to be online within the next couple of days. Where to go, this and that. I'll be updating weekly on progress. You can do this and that. Also, there'll be Kelly's music choice of the week. They'll even be asking her on our music choices. So that'll be like this show personally. The outro, when we end the show, there'll be like a song that Kelly likes that'll be like the outro, like on YouTube, something like this week's is going to be Dream Theater. So at the end of the show, there's going to be, you will listen to Dream Theater attached to it.
Hey, Teddy.
Come on, we're sticking to the point here, Bill. This is serious, and I will kill people. I will kill everybody over Kelly Kearns. Stop. Okay, so now this is very serious. So I'm asking people to fucking kick it in. And also I'm asking people that make jewelry, have bikes. I already talked to Mike Fredrickson about kicking in some paintings that I can sell. I'm going to be also doing events, and I'll keep you updated on that. My Cooking with Ken prowess. And again, getting back to I don't really ask people for anything.
Yeah.
And for those that know me, know that, and for those that do not know me, now know it.
Okay, Teddy, I'm telling you, GoFundMe site works, and you can raise a lot of money. And my experience was that my attorney, Jason Clearman, got shot in the head by a bicyclist. Mm-hmm. It set up a GoFundMe site, and he raised a lot of money.
But I'm also going to be, anyone can go there at any time and donate money, but I'm also going to be doing events with my cooking, marketing, and event skills. So I'll be doing some dinners at some point. I'll be doing events where I'm cooking, having bands, fire spinners, belly dancers, and auctioning stuff off. 10 hours of my labor, for example, or, Mike Fredrickson painting, or you make some jewelry or something like that. So that's one of the things as well. So be looking out for that, and we'll go from there. What kind of time we got?
10 minutes or so.
Okay.
Okay, so Bill.
Whatever you want.
What?
All right, so now getting back to the see that was the news from the front segment. Keep in mind, this is the first show, my first guest. We're just somewhat winging it. We got a little notes here. So now we're not only going to have our second beer, Bill and I, but we're going to get back to River West law enforcement, which is the original main topic of discussion.
I didn't complete everything except the bicycles. I got more to say. If you get a neat bicycle, take a picture of it.
But beer, Bill. I said beer. Bill, you would like another beer right now, correct? Okay. He said, of course. Why wouldn't he? And it's a fine beer. Do you like Spaten? You like Oktoberfest beers?
Yeah, sure. Don't think it's like a Schlitz.
Okay. Well, I drink bottles of Schlitz, all the time.
Well, it's just to be those sold around the world, and those around the world stuff are worth a lot of money. Yeah, like for example, on 13th and Fond du Lac, they had a neon that everybody wanted it.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, around the world neon.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are worth money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think actually Chris Borchard has one of those that's wrapped in cellophane in his garage. I'll have to find out. So maybe I'll have him kick that in and we'll sell it and we'll give the money to Kelly.
Around the world.
Oh, I'm going to write that down.
With the belt is worth
No,
money.
I actually think Chris Borchard, I do believe he's got other neon light stuff or beer lights. Chris Borchard. Schlitz. World. Globe. Kick it in. And Chris knows Kelly Kearns. She's actually, even though she's doing this chemo and she's like ice baths for like 4 times a week or whatever it is, she's still doing some work and she's actually doing Chris's taxes right now and he just says, just charge me whatever you want.
Well, actually,
I don't care.
I could actually give tax advice.
Yeah, but tax advice, but he just owns a house and has one job. It's not complicated, except for him not keeping his ducks in order receipts.
My finances are very complicated.
Yes, yes. But we're talking about Chris and this and that. So, all right. So let's get back to the next topic of River West law enforcement, which is. Oh, cheers, Bill. Thanks for hanging out.
I do it all. I like to explain everything, even homicide. I can explain that. When you get a dead body in your apartment, I had one of those. Yep, I'll explain that.
Where at? Do you remember the address?
Yeah, 2556 North Wheel.
So, what year is this? Ish.
2007, maybe.
Okay, well that makes sense. Yeah, I know Wheel. I used to live right over Wheel and Hadley.
Actually, that neighborhood ain't that bad anymore. That's almost come.
That's because
gentrified.
of owner occupants
It's becoming gentrified.
that live there.
Well, so there's actually a lot of cool, solid houses. Something you don't see in the suburbs is what the wood structure looks like inside. Some of these things got real 2x4s. Yeah, real 2x4s. A 2x4 ain't a 2x4 anymore.
Of course not.
It used to be.
Yeah, but if you got a 2x4, but now and would actually get a 2x4, it'd be a lot of money.
Well, some of these reasons that they rehab these burnouts is because the 2x4s.
Sure.
It's in business.
Yeah. I understand the concept greatly. I mean, they're very, you get a lot of these people like to rehab stuff and make it more modern so they can jack up the rents and stuff like that. But So the smart people actually they take like some of this older stuff out of there, like good woodwork, and put in some pressed wood crap that they don't care if the tenants wreck them.
If you chemically treat them, I got started with telephone poles. I used to work a civil in Brookfield. We did all shit on Blue Mountains, nothing out
Sure.
there.
Mm,
Brookfield
understandable.
Lakes,
Oh,
we did
sure.
all that. We had a little deal with a telephone pole. You know these things that are number plated? And you call them up and they tell you how old they are. We were on a telephone pole that was 100 years old. Do you believe that?
But those are sellable.
Well, I don't know. Take Peru, for example. Some people don't understand what we got up here. Like in Peru, they don't have eucalyptus trees. And I was on train in Peru going to Machu Picchu, and what are they using for telephone poles? Rails, railroad tracks with things.
Oh yeah. Railroad ties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That ties the metal things that you're. Yeah, they're using those.
Trestles.
Oh, okay. Yes. A light bulb came into my head with help from Greg.
Light bulb. The light bulb has really evolved since Edison. Now we got this. I got a light bulb story. Chris, I don't know if Chris. You find him in a coffee shop. He had some building. Told me a couple years ago, and a porch thing, and there was like an old Edison light bulb from 1912 that was still working.
No, that's worth money.
Well, he showed it to me.
Yeah.
So,
Someone would pay a lot of money for that.
oh, me.
I mean, maybe. How many are those in existence that work?
Probably about 3.
So what do you think of 3 of anything ever's worth?
Well,
If there were only 3 spot optimeters on a planet, someone with a lot of money would probably pay like $10,000 for a bottle.
after I know life, 3 of my autographs might be worth something.
You never know. Things are, here's my recommendation. See, now I have a recommendation for like not just really entrepreneurs, but people that invest stuff because you're in the stock market and this and that. Okay.
Well, I wasn't until recently cashed up, but getting back in.
But so now here's the thing, and here's what I would tell people is that Robert De Niro's probably going to be dead soon, so buy all
I hope
Robert
not.
De Niro's. I'm just saying, so buy all Robert De Niro stuff. Anyone that's has been, especially in this day of entertainment, musicians, anyone that's getting up in age or whatever, that you should probably invest a few dollars in certain things that are resellable, such as any taxi driver stuff. So like say if you have the original album, for example, it probably costs about $400 or $500 right now. If Robert De Niro dies tomorrow and you have one of those, you could sell it for $5,000 to $10,000.
Well, it could be worth a lot of money. It has the Wizards of stuff like the ruby
Thank you.
slippers, Gone with the Wind.
No, yeah, but so now you just said Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, with ruby slippers.
So, what do you think? Because I actually looked at this up. What do you think? Judy Garland died not long ago, right?
Yeah, 47 or something.
Yeah, but she died not long ago, and I looked up anything Wizard of Oz related. 10 times what it was worth, before she passed.
Yeah.
So that's, I know it's kind of a
Once you get
dark
dead,
subject, but
value goes up, right?
I mean, they're dead. They don't care.
Except their family members.
Yeah, but whatever.
Or
But they
looking for your money.
Well, no, but then they probably have a lot of this stuff in stock. Just like look at Prince. They're still fighting over all this money that he earned.
You know why he had no will.
No, I know that. But I'm saying, what do you think his estate's worth, especially after his death? All this old memorabilia that
$100
he's
million
got.
maybe.
Right. It's a lot of money. It's not $100. It's not $1 million. It's $100 million.
Yeah.
Probably at least minimum. Especially with there's a lot of stuff he recorded over the years that he never released, like thousands of songs, original or redos. And I would say at some point, probably within the next year, a lot of this stuff is going to be unleashed, and it's going to make another $50 million in the next 5 years just selling different recordings that other people haven't never really heard before. So it's just the same theme. All right, so let's see here. It is. We're 1 minute over schedule. It's 2:48 and 2:47. I think is what we're doing. So, trust. I'm Johnny Cash from Folsom City Prisons telling me trust gets you killed, love gets you hurt, being real gets you hated. But hey,
Dov, 1 minute for something to say.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. Trump, nobody wants to let him use music. Like Neil Young sued him. But because died, I got one that's going to work for him.
Good.
The end, the Doors.
Good.
I bet they give it to him because they don't like him.
That's fine. Look, cheers to that. Bill, thanks for hanging out. We'll have you on again. And thanks for everyone for hanging out.